Well, hi Virgo. I am sorry it took so long to get the May videos out. I have been so busy redoing everything, as I said before, so I couldn't get to this, and I know that you guys have been asking, all you Virgos have been asking for this video, so here, let's get started, because I have a lot to talk about, because one of the major players in the energy that's going to be going on is going to be in Mercury, which is your ruler. So this is going to be a very strange month for you. Let's talk about when Mercury goes into Gemini energy. Why is it so different when Mercury goes into Gemini energy as when Mercury goes into Virgo? I did a lot of research on the difference between when Mercury's in Gemini and when Mercury's in Virgo. The different way that Mercury influences those two different signs. When Mercury goes into Gemini, it is a different type of energy. It's a busy energy socially. It is an energy that is scattered. It's an energy that likes to learn a lot about, or likes to learn a little about a lot of things. You know, it's not very focused. It's not very honed in. It doesn't know how to find a way to harness its energy. I think the air energy in Gemini just blows around all over the place. It's so mutable that it obviously, it a lot of times doesn't have a direction to go, I want to say. When Mercury goes into Virgo, when it influences Virgo energy, it is, I don't know how to say this without pissing off every Gemini I know. But when Mercury influences Virgo, it makes them much more productive. It makes them, the intellectual capacity of Virgo is to be very detail oriented. So you have, when Mercury is in Gemini, it's not very detail oriented. It's all over the place. It looks at the big picture and researches things based on accumulative data, based on a big picture. When Mercury influences Virgo, it fine-tunes it, it hones it down, it makes it incredibly detail-oriented. And I hope that sounds good for everybody involved. Like, I'm not trying to pick on Gemini energy. But for you, this is going to be out of character energy for you, because your ruler is going into Mercury on the 1st of May. When this happens, that means that you're going to be more scattered than you've ever have been. You're going to not know which direction to go. You're going to have a lot of ideas, but you're not going to have the forethought that you normally do to follow through on any of them, because there's so many coming at you, you don't know which way to go. You're going to find that you're restless in this energy, and that's not a normal trait in Virgo. Virgos aren't restless. You know what? They can sit in a cubicle for 10 hours a day processing the same paperwork. I mean, you know, they're so amazing at harnessing energy and focusing that it's going to be weird for you to find that you're restless in May. You're not feeling yourself. You're going to find that you communicate easily. Now, one thing that I find kind of funny is that when Mercury's in Gemini, Geminis are just communicators at heart. I mean, they're just bubbly, outgoing, fun people. It's just second nature for them to just, you know, find a way to just to like the best in every situation. Virgos are kind of different. Virgos, the way that they manifest a positive change in life, it's not through communication with others. It's not through networking. It's not through socializing. It's through organizing details. It's through analytical thinking. It's through fine-tuning every little detail. That's not, but you won't feel any of that energy this month. This month, you'll feel like a Gemini. You will feel that there will just be something about you that is kind of off. You won't, so it will make you feel restless. It'll cause anxiety problems with you because you need directional thinking. That's how you function. That's how you stay balanced in your energy. You'll find that you'll have a problem with routine. Routine will seem kind of boring to you, and maybe that restless energy will start to manifest ways in you. You might find that you just have a really, really hard time concentrating on the things that used to thrill you and make you detail-oriented. I want to prepare you for that because it's a weird energy for Virgos. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to feel wonderful, because you will, because this is a power all in itself. When Mercury goes into Virgo in Gemini, it creates energy in an area that you kind of need a little energy. You need to be more social. You need to get away from being so detail-oriented. You need to stop making your list. You need to be much more adaptable, and you go with the flow. You need to not be as picky. And these are all wonderful things for you to go through. It can open you up to a lot of new potential that you hadn't had before. It can give you some freedom in your life that you hadn't felt before. You may feel that you may just suddenly be out of character for who you are. And that's wonderful, because everybody, every once in a while, needs to take a break from being a monotonous creature and go out there and just live life, be adaptable to it, and have a great time. You're going to love this energy. It will feel it's unsettling at first. It may create some anxiety at first, but you're going to get the swing of it as the month progresses. Then on the 11th, Mars enters Gemini. Now, this is crazy because you're a subdued creature. You're a very easygoing person. You don't like to make waves, and you don't like drama, and you don't like dramatic people. You're going to find yourself able to handle situations that you normally don't handle. Now, you're going to be passive-aggressive about it, because anytime Mars is in Mercury and it's in Virgo like this, you're just a passive-aggressive person. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Gemini on May 18th. You are very sensitive to Mercury energy. You're going to start to feel the retrograde probably around the 3rd, the energy building up to the retrograde. So even though normally this energy would ignite you in a fantastic way, and it will, you still won't be able to resist this energy. You still will find that you will manifest great ideas from this energy. You still will find that you will try to push them forward through conversation. You're going to find that sometimes these conversations don't go your way. You might actually have some tough conversations with people where normally you would back down and say, oh, never mind, it was just an idea. You might say, no, this was a great idea, and I stand behind it. And so it's going to be an energy that's tough conversations are going to happen, but I think they kind of need to, because I think you need to start standing your ground as a Virgo. I think sometimes Virgos are just entirely too passive, and they are wonderful people. They truly are. People misunderstand Virgos all the time. They think that they're just these robots, but we have all of this. You have all this stuff that is working behind the scenes that you don't let people see, because you're too busy trying to make everybody happy and be the peacekeeper in life. You want to be that helpful soul that just manifests a positive mental well-being at all time, at the expense of your own well-being, often. So those are the energies that are at play this month, and this is what you're going to have to deal with. Now let's turn to the monthly energies, the days that is going to be working with all of this energy. And then we'll talk about what's going to go down. A lot's going to go down. It's going to be crazy. All right. So on May 3rd, we have a full moon in Scorpio. And for you, it's going to be in your 3rd house. And this is in the house of communication. Go figure, right? So, of course, you are going to be, like, going through this whole, like, intense energy in the house of communication. And I just laugh because I don't even know what to say. Because let's face it, this would be a powerful manifestation month if Mercury wasn't opposed during this time. Now, during this full moon in Scorpio, Mercury in Taurus and Mars in Taurus are going to be opposing Saturn in Sagittarius in retrograde. So this is going to be a very, very intense moon for you. It's going to make people very, very intense around you. It's going to make interactions with people near impossible, and communication is going to be volatile. It's going to be ineffective for you. You may have an intense conversation that makes you very, very uncomfortable. And it's going to be regarding relationships with people at work. It's going to be involving maybe something that you proposed in writing, or something that you proposed, as an idea, just suddenly doesn't, it hit people wrong, and they misunderstood what you were trying to say. And so for those of you that are teachers during this time, I'm one of them, and I have Virgo energy, so I get nervous when I say this out loud, but there could be a misunderstanding with your peers about your communication style through teaching. Maybe you're too lenient of a teacher. Maybe your immutable quality, you're not taking enough stands in creating that strong foundation that students need. And so maybe there's something to be learned through all of this opposition. The opposition that happens is going to show you a weakness so that you can make it a strength. Always remember that anytime that we run up against something and we're opposed by it, we can turn that opposition into a strength, and we can become powerful where we once were at a disadvantage. Okay? On the 7th, Venus goes into Cancer. And when this happens, you know what? And I kind of feel like in this video, because I'm so in tune with Mercury right now, I feel like, see how I'm not talking really great right now? See how I'm trying to make points, but I'm not finding the words? I feel this is going to be you. I'm going to leave all these faux pas in here that I'm saying, because I feel this is going to be how you might communicate this month. And it's going to be uncommon for you. So you might need to see what manifests through this month, through communication complications. And it's coming through in this video. The energy is filling me with just, for some reason for you, it's really hard to talk about what's going on with you. I keep not getting the words out, and it hasn't happened in any other video. So I think this is a really good thing to keep in the video for you to understand what you're going to be looking at this month. Now, then on the 14th and the 15th, Mars in your 10th house is going to square Saturn. Now, on the 14th and 15th, it's going to be bad for everybody. Absolutely a confrontational day. And I'm going to tell you why. Mars, the Sun, and Neptune are all going to be squaring Saturn at the same time. And for these few days, there is going to be something come to light that is ego-based. There's going to be something that comes to light that's going to make you sensitive about an issue. You thought everything was going in a certain direction. You were probably disillusioned about that situation. You thought that there was going to be something that was going to come forth in your work environment. It could have been an opportunity. It could have been you were having conversations about getting a pay raise, and then that's not following through. Or maybe a particular opportunity. Maybe somebody was going to buy a package or buy something from you, and then they didn't follow through. But something isn't going to follow through, and it's going to just make you feel hypersensitive, very, very hypersensitive, and it's going to do a little blow to your ego. Let this happen. When you go through opposition that's an ego-based opposition, and when it's in Saturn, it's a teaching tool. It's a teaching tool about a weakness that you have. And I believe that every time you go through these oppositions in your ego, there's something powerful to be learned to make you stronger. What doesn't kill you completely makes you stronger. And I believe this in my heart and soul. And so don't let this hurt you. Don't let it crush your ego. Don't take this and make it a martyr for yourself to feel sorry for yourself. Move forward with this energy. I know that Mars is going to be opposed and you're not going to want to move forward, but you're going to have to get up the next day and face everybody and go forward with the disappointment that you felt in those couple of days. Then on the 17th, you have a new moon in Taurus. Now, normally I say new moons in Tauruses are fantastic. They make you feel good. You work well with a Taurus energy. So normally this would be a wonderful, wonderful moon for you. However, it's being met with opposition. And there's a yod on this new moon. And I like to look at new moons and I like to see all the energy that surrounds new moons because I want to know what this new moon really signifies in my life. And for you, this new moon is a puzzle. It's a puzzle to a weakness that you have. So there's a yod that's forming in the sky at the time that the new moon is happening. And this yod has been on and off, going on and off in April. And it's all been in the same energies. There was a brief time that the yod was in Venus and Gemini, but Gemini was still a player in the yod, in the energy. So the way that a yod is it kind of looks like a teepee in the sky. Looks just like this in the sky. The top of the yod, the top of the teepee, is Pluto and Capricorn. Okay? And Pluto is the darkest parts of yourself. It's the deepest latent issues of yourself. It's where your insecurity and fear lies. It's, I think the biggest fear for a Virgo is failure. It's failure to not be appreciated for what they do and what they have to offer and for who they are, and that they can't meet all the needs. They can't restore people. They can't help people. So for you, it's going to hit home in this particular area. Then at the base of the yod, on this part of the yod, right, on this part of your TP, you have Jupiter in Leo. And then over here, you have Mercury in Gemini. So your ruler is a big piece of this yod. So at the top, these two pieces, the top part of the TP, are sextiles. Are quincunx. And when you have a quincunx, they are completely opposing energy. They cannot work together. They're not able to find balance. It is your desire and your goal when you have a quincunx to find the middle of that energy and to work at that vibration and to focus on that, but they're going to oppose each other. So these two, so you've got a completely malefic planet like Pluto opposing a benefic planet like Jupiter, and it's good versus evil in this situation. It's repression and suppression of yourself and your confidence, and it's darkness versus light, blessings, forward energy, and these two are going head to head, and they have been all throughout April. And then you've got Jupiter over here. You've got Gemini over here opposing Pluto. So all this, the energy that makes you usually want to talk it out and find a diplomatic way to approach everything through conversation, it doesn't flow well. Your normal art for words just isn't helping. There's an issue that's going on, and this is at work. This is a career purpose, or perhaps a concept that you've been coming up with to launch yourself forward. There's something that isn't going right in this area. And for you, dear Virgos, you identify a lot of yourself through your work. I found that Virgos avoid relationships because they hurt and they don't go well. But they'll pour themselves into work and at service for others. But this energy isn't going to allow you to hide there anymore. You can't hide in your job anymore. You can't make your job your whole life. It's not gonna. You're not gonna profit anymore. Saturn's gonna oppose you. It's gonna say, get back out there. You know what? You have some latent issues regarding relationships. You have some issues where your heart was broken and you don't want to do it again. So you just want to pour yourself into work and your career and into achieving a financial success. You know what? Saturn's going to oppose that. You have to face your relationship issues. You have to face the fact that you need people, that you love people. You have to face the fact that in order for you to succeed in your career, you need a strong, healthy foundation to build off of. You have to face these, dear Virgo. I know you don't want to. I know you want this all to be about building a life filled with success through serving others. But what about yourself? You need love. You need to feel loved. You need to be loved. You know, you need to work through your issues with partners, and you need to get it all. You deserve it all. And I want to tell you that right after all this happened, like right after the 17th, this yod that's sitting there, Mercury goes retrograde. And Mercury in retrograde has this yod in it. And that's significant because in the middle of the yod is a room. Is a room where a secret message is stored for you to figure out. That's the key to your success. But in order to get into this room, in the middle part, you have to open this door like an open sesame so you can walk through it and get to it. And that's through the sextile. So these two are quincunxes, and this right here, this bottom part of the teepee where the foundation lays is the sextile. Through the sextile is the key to unlocking this mystery, and that is between Jupiter and Mercury. These two are the ones that are going to work together to help you out. I want you to really focus this month on Jupiter and your Mercury energy. I want you to face all of this energy that's going to break loose in Mercury. I want you to face opposition. I don't want you to shy away from it. I don't want you to be the peacekeeper that you normally are, the mutable energy that just goes with the flow. You can't go with the flow. It's time to take a stand. There's a reason Mars is in Gemini during this month. It's time to take a stand. It's time to stand up for yourself and become a Virgo that's heard. To become a Virgo that's respected by all. If somebody's not going to follow through on a promise they made you, then you need to take care of that. From the 21st on to the 31st, there is nothing but opposition. On every aspect. The Sun, Mercury, Mars, Neptune, Venus, all hell's breaking loose. There's great opposition. It's through opposition that you manifest a new life, that you find strength you didn't know you have. Without opposition, you would just process data every day the same way you do. You would just go through your life in your organized world and just doing the same robotic things but never progressing. It's through opposition that your brilliant brain kicks in and finds a new process, a better process, an answer to your life that you were missing had you not had opposition. This is a beautiful month if you really look at it the way I do, because it's a month of manifestation. I like to look at this month as like you're a butterfly right now in a cocoon, and there's a big storm outside, and the water is hitting your cocoon, and it could cause damage if it gets too saturated, and you could be at a very vulnerable state for birds or for things, for your house to never form again. And since you're not fully manifested as a butterfly yet, and you're in that metamorphic stage, you are vulnerable to not living through this. You're going to feel like you're not going to live through this month, because this is challenging every aspect of you. Your heart and soul has been poured into work lately, so you feel that's the only place you're succeeding, and that's the place that's gonna get opposition. Of course it is, because that's the way the universe works. It likes to keep things spicy. Don't worry about this month. It's a teaching month. I am going to be putting daily energy readings up and horoscope readings just to help you get through this month. And I encourage you to go look. You don't have to be my Facebook friend. They are public for everybody to see. You just look me up once a day and just try to hone in to the best part of energy. You're really good at this. It's time to pay attention to your well-being. It's time to figure out what latent issues you have that may be suppressing you. If you have some poor health habits, it's time to really look at those and to think about how to manifest a better change in your life. Just know that when you go through these tough days, you're gonna be a butterfly. You're gonna manifest. You're gonna make it through that storm with your cocoon intact. Okay? Life is gonna get better. It really is for you. Just be patient. Be as mutable as you are, but take stance if you need to, and get the respect you deserve as a beautiful Virgo. And let love in. Let love back into your life. Let the potential of it anyway. Let the thought of it. You don't have to go out there and find somebody yet, because you don't want to, because Neptune's in Pisces and it's opposing Venus. So you don't really want to let love in, but let the thought of it come into you. You know, let that feeling generate a happy thought within you. And I love you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful and somehow comforted month. And I'm going to try to be there for you. Mercury will be in retrograde, and it will be opposing communication devices. So I do apologize if I don't come off right, or if something is not, coming out the way it should. I apologize in advance, because last time I tried to do any kind of communicating on the internet when Mercury was in a retrograde, it was a hot mess. Like, I couldn't believe what went down. You have to watch the February videos to see some of the funny stuff that happened when I made videos, because I made videos in the heart of a retrograde, and it was just stupid. Anyhow, have a wonderful month, and I care very much for you, and I look forward to seeing you all next month.